Today I want to give you guys 3 street photography ideas that I don't mind you stealing. The first one will be to look for people naturally posing. I'm really amused by this when I'm walking around and you see a guy or a woman and they're naturally posing up against something and they don't even realize they look like they're posing for a photo shoot. I love when I find a couple that's posing together and they don't realize they're posing together. I went to this bar once in Berlin and it was the most ridiculous thing, but I didn't have a camera. This bar had random couches just everywhere, and then the back of the bar had these elevated like levels, like the episode of Seinfeld. And then they had these bright red lights pointing at everyone that was choosing to sit there. Now there was a lot of couples and a lot of random people, but they were all posing and they didn't mean to be. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, girlfriends posing on their boyfriends, women practically doing that. It was the most interesting thing and I didn't have my camera. So I am always looking for that. Now, sometimes this will backfire if you're only looking for Instagram likes because people will see it and assume it was a photo shoot and not realize that, no, you just stumbled upon it. It's a street photograph, spontaneous photograph. This shot, for example, I thought was completely interesting. This guy seemed to be levitating on these stairs. Obviously, he was on drugs. He was neither conscious or unconscious. He was just in this bizarre daze. I thought it was fascinating. He did not notice me shooting him, not because I was being sneaky. He was out of his mind. And I posted it to Instagram, and it didn't really get that many likes. I later realized the guy didn't look like a druggie necessarily or homeless. He just looked like a guy. And people assumed it was staged, I think. Unfortunately, that day I saw a lot of people like that. I think a drug had hit the street. I'm no expert, but there were a lot of people passed out like that in random places. The next idea I don't mind you stealing is find clever ways, interesting ways to decontextualize an image or a subject. One thing I like to do is I will go to Venice Skate Park or Venice Boardwalk. I will find one of those big circles, the crowds that form around a street performer. It's really only hyping you up for like something that never happens or only will last for like 5 seconds. And because I'm at such a low angle, no one really notices I'm doing it. I'll point my camera up at them and I'll get different perspectives. And by doing that, you have no idea where they're at. You can find these really interesting characters and just take away that context. It's a bit different than just shooting wide open and blurring your background. This will require you to be a little bit more creative, and it is a lot of fun. Next, I love to get candids that look like posed portraits and posed portraits that look like candids, if that makes sense to you. I love getting images where I get people that look like they're friends or buddies and they're not. Here's an example where I'm combining a few of the things I'm talking about, where I'm shooting from below and I'm getting these 2 guys in the frame, and I can imagine this being like an album cover. But they didn't know each other. Neither knew I was photographing them. One is making eye contact, but because I waited for him to make eye contact with me, he was not posing for me. I hope I was able to give you a few ideas on what to look for next time you do your street photography. Lastly, I want to just say your goal as an artist should be to create authentic work, not necessarily original work. No work is truly original. We're all living on the same planet. There is no vacuum, and so nothing can be entirely original. But if you're able to capture an authentic image, maybe you're capturing an authentic moment, you can't take that away from someone. That image is truly authentic. It doesn't matter if your composition is clever or original. Keep that in mind. Happy shooting. Hope you guys enjoyed this content. All right.